Hello, everybody. This is Joe. This is Joe Neely, actually. That's my last name. And you can, of course, find me at joeneely.net/the golden hour because this is the golden hour. I will turn around the camera as I like to do and let you see there's my bike and there's some gold. I'm not kidding. Really is a golden hour. I love the look of it. It's my favorite hour of the day. And I choose this, my favorite hour of the day, Mosquito, to give you and myself the very, very best of me, Mosquito. There we go. And a little dirt. I was just doing push ups, so I got a little dirt on my head. I always like to go all the way up and all the way down. It feels right to do it all the way. And so I allow different parts of myself, typically forehead, nose, chest, and genitals, all to touch the ground while I do push ups. Just so I feel like I'm doing them all the way up and all the way down. That being said, for those of you who are counting, I got to 80 today in in 4 sets. Yesterday was 5 sets. Today I did it in 4 sets of 20. And I'm going to try to stay here for a few days. I will be eager to move on, but I will really benefit from staying here for a few days, slowing them down. I'm rushing a bit because I'm afraid that if I go slow, I won't finish. And also, I was just barely able to finish despite going pretty fast. More than anything, I don't like that rushing energy. I don't like that feeling that I have to rush or I can't get it done. So I'd like to stay at 80 for, who knows, the next 2, 3, more, 5, 7 days and see if I can really master it. Really get, I'm still a bit out of breath, really get the most benefit I can out of 80, is what I'm trying to say. Really get all the good emotions put into it that I want to have before I go up and try to do more. I'm very eager to get to 100, so we'll see what happens. But I know that there's great benefit for me in getting to 80 and staying here for a while. Also, when I get to 100, I intend to do the same. Maybe throw in some harder things like incline push-ups for 5 or 10 of those, in addition to the regular ones, or some other challenges. But I really hope to stay there and work on quality instead of quantity. And speed is one of those things. So, the golden hour is about yoga. The golden hour is about meditation and exercise. It's about self-development. It's about the wisdom I gain on my trip. It's about my journey as a full-time digital nomad and bicycle tourist of, at this point, the eastern U.S. and maybe more someday. What I most want to communicate with all of you is the same thing I talk about all the time. My primary mission is to connect with people, is to open up yourself and be vulnerable, and open up yourself and be free, and open up yourself and be honest, so that you can attract people, and the best kind of people, to your life. And I have released a lot of fear throughout my journey. I have learned to live on less and enjoy more happiness. The trick is, what do you really need to be happy? I don't know that you have to go on my journey like I have, by getting rid of everything I own that doesn't fit on a bicycle. But each of us in our own way is on that journey all the time. And at some point we will have nothing. At some point we'll leave this world and go wherever we go next. If we go somewhere next, I guess there's no guarantee on that one. But many people believe there's something afterwards, and I believe there's a decent chance of something after this. Who knows? We'll all find out sooner or later, right? But until then, consider the journey of minimalism. Consider whether you need something to be happy. Consider whether you really need something at all. I have gotten rid of all the stuff I don't need and a few things that do make me happy. There are things I would like to have. For example, my piano doesn't fit on my bike. For example, I'd like to have a pet, and I don't know. I don't know that I'm ready to travel with one yet, though I will at some point. I also like to cook. That's something that I've put on hold for now. Cooking really just isn't practical out here. I keep myself in warm climates, so I don't need hot food for warmth. And besides, anything that you need to cook, you know, to make it edible, what's the point? Just eat food that's ready to go, you know? I haven't talked a lot about my journeys so far, but maybe I should. I mean, my daily diet consists of avocado tomato sandwich with salt and pepper, maybe some thyme. I like pumpernickel bread for that. That's one of my standbys. Though I, use regular bread more often than not when I can't find brown bread. Oh, and a shout out to Matt Reichert. The German brown bread that you recommended is fantastic. Thank you very much for recommending that. So, forgive me if you see some flashing lights. I have somehow activated some kind of light sensor thing on my phone. So I changed the contrast a couple times, I think. I don't even know if contrast is the right word. I'm not a video person. That being said, I've made video a part of my life. I'm not holding back because of the lack of knowledge. Do you find that? Do you find that you hold back and say, oh, well, I'm not ready to begin because it's not good enough yet? I do. As a musician, as a writer, I know that I want things to be perfect before I put them out there. I don't want people to look at my early work and say, ooh, ugh. The fact is, people look at my early work and they say, and they look at my next work and they go, and they go look at my work after that and say, and then they look at what I did a year later and they're like, yeah. At some point they'll be raving fans. There's a fear that we have that we can't put anything out until it's perfect. And I think that's just silly. I think what's most important for us is to put stuff out there. Just put stuff out there. Very inspiring man, Milton Polsky, my father-in-law. I don't know what relationship we have. My brother married his daughter, for what it's worth. And he is a very inspirational man. He is one of those guys who puts stuff out. He's a writer of dramatic and editorial pieces, as well as a ton of other various creative pursuits. Writer of plays and musicals and stuff, and teacher of acting, and just a really inspirational guy who has no filter, who just puts everything out on the table, good, bad, and ugly. You'll see that people like Bob Dylan are like this. People who put out an album all the time, every year. Or, oh gosh, I'm blanking. Who's the very famous director who did Annie Hall and puts out a movie every year, whether or not it's any good? That's the idea. You just create and create and create, and some of it will be amazing, and some of it will be acclaimed. Some of the amazing stuff may not be acclaimed. Some of the acclaimed stuff may not be amazing. But you just put it out there, and you do your very, very best with it. And by best, I don't mean that you push yourself. I don't mean that you try hard. I don't mean that you do what we call efforting. Don't do any of that. What I mean by doing your best is just not stopping yourself from doing your best. You do your best all the time. There's just a part of you that holds back. There's a part of you that is afraid. And, to be honest, you do your best of letting go of that fear. So you're still doing your best, all the time. I honestly believe that we are all always doing our best. But there is something that's happening inside of you. There is something that's happening where you are releasing fear, where you are letting go of those blockages and slowdowns to your true potential and being who you really are. Of course, pursuing what you actually want to do is a big part of this, and or admitting you don't know what that is and going to seek it. Uh, you may at first only know what you don't want. For example, I felt in my heart that I had a something that was right for me, something that I should do, something that I very, very much wanted to do. That was the best, right, most thing for me. And well, I can feel it growing and I'm heading towards it and I have some ideas of what it is now. But when I started, I didn't know. I just knew that what I was doing wasn't working anymore. I just knew that where I was at wasn't the right place for me anymore and that I had to move on. So, I did. I dug myself up from a comfortable, boring, depressing job and moved on to something that was more healthy for me. Did you guys see the airplane in the background? I hope so. But yeah, I'm still moving. I'm still learning. I've got myself a travel job and I've got myself this 1 hour a day golden hour job. And, between the two, I'm able to have a happy time and make money and travel. I'm able to be in good weather all the time. I'm wearing shorts right now in December. I don't know if you can see me. There I am. And yeah, it is December. For a Michiganite to be wearing shorts and nothing else, really, this is pretty amazing to be not stuck. Some people love Michigan. Some people love the cold weather, and more power to you. But if you don't love it, go somewhere else. That being said, if you live in Florida and you don't like the heat, get out. For me, I like moderate, temperate weather, so I will travel to where that weather is. And I'm willing to do the work that it takes to have that. Some of us do these big trade-offs. Some of us, some of we living folk, we do the strange, the absurd. We trade off a stable job for a new, less stable career and a more flexible life. We trade off having beautiful weather and sunshine all the time and going north and south with the weather. We trade all that work for the feeling of being able to go outside every day and feel good. I'm the kind of person where if you put me in an environment that's too hot or too cold, I will just stay inside. Whether it's air conditioning or heat, I'll just stay in there because I really want to have a balanced amount of personal temperature. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the same reason I love hot showers. I love being able to choose my body temperature. For some reason, that's important to me. But yeah, I've chosen that over anything else. And of course, when I am in good weather, I do go outside. And of course, when I am traveling, I do camp. And it gets me outside. I get vitamin D, which we all know makes us, less depressed. Isn't that crazy? If you stay inside, you'll make yourself depressed because you don't get vitamin D. And then you'll be more depressed, so you'll be more likely to stay inside. See how that works? It's a negative spiral. Staying inside limits you and causes a condition that only makes you limit more. Be very careful for those. They're like addictions, negative spirals. We see them all throughout our lives. It's like the itch-scratch cycle. Something itches, so you scratch it to make it worse, and then it itches more, and then you scratch it to make it worse, and it itches more. That's hard to do. We're human. We want instant gratification of scratching. But you know what? It's a little bit of wisdom goes a long way. If you can feel an itch and not scratch it, if you can feel a slight discomfort that you know you need to put up with, and you do, that's amazing. The trick is not to feel bad that you're putting up with it. If you're doing that, you're not winning at all. For example, today I needed to go on a long hike. I chose to go on a pretty long hike, and then I had some logistical reasons that I had to go on an even longer hike. And this is in the heat, and I was really worried that it might rain, but it didn't. I'm getting better and better at manifesting good weather. And also postponing weather until at nighttime. one of the things I really think is fair is not to manifest dry weather all the time and create a desert wherever I am. I don't know if that's fair to people, but I do think that it's nice to hold the weather off if it's going to come to the point, you know, where I'm sleeping. Um, and it's funny to talk this way. I'm talking in a kind of woo way right now, and it's kind of bugging me that I'm saying this on the video, but that's the point of the video, right? The point is to talk about all of those things that are strange and taboo and weird and very, very dear to my heart and yours. I'm manifesting better weather, and I'm manifesting rain so, you know, the trees can live and the bushes can live a little bit. I'm not a big fan of bushes. As a hiker through the woods, pushing my bike through bushes can be awfully rough. But no, in all fairness, the world needs water, and so I'm manifesting it at night. Um, it's supposed to be raining now. You know, I got a forecast that said it was supposed to be raining during the afternoon, and it just didn't. And the further I got through the day, the further it just didn't happen, and it was supposed to happen later. It was supposed to happen later. It was supposed to happen later. Once it gets to the evening, I won't be manifesting it to not happen, and it may happen. I hope so. I hope we get a little bit of rain tonight. Not a lot. Not a fan of big rains, but little. Yeah. It's funny to talk this way. It's funny to talk this way openly to the public and just out loud. But it's been going on in my head for a while, and it's time to share. So, all you law of attraction buddies out there, especially Drew and Breezy, who have subscribed and supported the podcast, our vlogcast, whatever the heck it's called. I really appreciate you. And yeah, see what you can manifest in your life. Pick something that's big enough to matter, but just barely, and see if you can manifest something awesome. For example, look over here. I had a kind of weird, gross brown growth there, and I told myself it was gone. I told myself it wasn't going to be there. I told myself my skin was healthy and young looking and, you know, beautiful. And you know what? It is. The brown thing kind of dried up, kind of got scruffy. I just kind of scraped it off of there and it's gone. You can manifest things with your body. You can manifest things with the weather. For me, these are the easier ones to begin. Relationships and money are my next challenges. Oh, I should also say that health is the easiest one for me. Some people have a hard time manifesting health. I have had great health for years, and I've always manifested really good health. There are a few things I'd like to improve even more, but gosh, I'm doing really well with it. So whatever your dreams are, focus on them when you feel happy. Watch your Abraham Hicks, or listen, I should say, to the videos, audios, and let me know what you think. We're all on this path together. We're all co-creators. We're all creating our own individual universe. And when mine bumps up against yours, we have a good time. So yeah, let's use that time of our universes overlapping to see what we can't do, to work together, to share, to give wisdom to each other, and see what we can't make of this world and all of our worlds. I'm smiling. I'm feeling great. Let's leave it right there. My name is Joe Neely. This is The Golden Hour. Check me out on joeneely.net/golden hour. Have a wonderful night.